Hello, welcome to this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona, and hopefully today with our bets and your bets is going to be another profitable day for you. NFL Week 9, Sunday the 2nd and Monday the 3rd. We're going to be rolling through the whole NFL slate, so welcome aboard if this is your first time here, been here before. All of our shows brought to you by the world's #1 sports betting app, Outlier. Oh, you can find the 7-day free trial link in the comments section as well as the YouTube channel page. And also private Discord channel available for all of you as well. Same two spots, comment section and YouTube channel page. If you want to get all of our plays early, get the unit sizes and everything else that we're doing, plus bonus material, and join a couple 100+ members who love doing the same thing you do, and that's called sports wagering. All right, let's get to the NFL slate. 1 o'clock Eastern time. We've got no earlier international schedule. We're going to get to Vikings, Lions. Vikings on the road. J.J. McCarthy's supposed to be back. Lions laying 8.5, 47.5 total. We went back and forth on this thing a lot of this. So I honestly think the game goes over, but I am concerned about how many points the Vikings are going to score. So if they're only going to be able to put up 10 to 14 here, that means it's going to have to be a monster number by the Lions. So we stayed away from the total because I really like for Lions games at home, typically over is the way to go. So, but we did play the Lions here. Let's give you all the plays in this particular one. We'll see if J.J. McCarthy can do anything. Lions minus 2.5 first quarter, 4.5 first half, 8.5 for the game. Ross St. Brown over 14.5 yards receiving first quarter. Gibbs 99 plus rushing and receiving yards. Justin Jefferson over 73.5 receiving yards. I will tell you this. I'm a little concerned about JJ. I wasn't concerned with Wentz being the quarterback. We're a little concerned here about Justin Jefferson getting his number, but you got to throw him the ball so many times. I mean, that has to be the #1 weapon because they can't run it very well. Khalif Raymond, over 9.5 yards rushing and receiving combined. Bates for the Lions, over 3.5 extra points. Gibbs, over 17.5 yards longest rush. We're going back to the Gibbs first quarter anytime touchdown. Gibbs, over 34.5 rushing yards first half. Goff, over 53.5 passing yards first quarter. Gibbs, anytime touchdown just in the first half. Jones for the Vikes, over 9.5 yards longest reception. St. Brown, over 22.5 yards longest reception. And Aaron Jones, 15+ receiving yards. So I'm assuming that JJ's his outlet's going to be Aaron Jones. I don't expect him to run the ball well. I do expect him to have to pass the ball a bunch. We expect the Lions to come out and be explosive. As long as the Lions don't turn the ball over, this should be an easy cover. But there's always that possibility, right? So keep that in mind on that one there. Next game up, let's get to it, shall we? Chargers, Titans. Chargers favored by 9.5 in this one. Woo! We got some serious points going on. 43.5 total here. So Chargers look spectacular last week. What a difference Joe Alt makes. Then they can run the ball. They got pass protection. And the Titans continue to be a dumpster fire, to put it mildly. Now, I expect them to score a few more points maybe this week than last week. I expect the Chargers to score a little bit less, but that over 43.5 sings to us all day long. Chargers and Titans, over 7.5 first quarter, 21.5 first half, 43.5 for the game. Justin Herbert, over 41.5 pass attempts. This game better be closer. We're going to go way under on that one. Cam Ward, over 203.5 passing yards. Okonkwo, under 3.5 receptions. Tajay Spears, under 7.5 rush attempts. Spears, under 10.5 yards longest rush. Justin Herbert, over 34.5 yards longest completion. Van Jefferson, once again, under a half a yard receiving first quarter. Khalil Mack, over a half a sack. Cam Ward to throw a pick. Cam Ward, over 32.5 pass attempts. And Helm for the Titans, over 14.5 receiving yards. A lot of props in both those games. So make sure you hit the pause button, write them down as we go through them here because there is a buttload. No question about it. Next game up, we get Colts and Steelers. Also 1 o'clock Eastern time frame. Colts right now at about 3.5, 50.5 total. So the Steelers have one of the worst pass defenses in the league. And the Colts have been able to pass the ball, run the ball, all that kind of stuff. The question, this one here, I think we're going to see a little bit means coming together of the means. And here's what I mean by that. Indy's got the number 1 offense. Pittsburgh's poorly rated on defense. Do we really think Mike Tomlin's going to finish the season with the worst defense in the league? No. Do we really think Indy's going to be the best offense at the end of the year? Maybe, but I don't think they're going to have a dominating lead. Playing indoors does help during cold weather, keep those stats up, but I don't think they're going to be dominating number 1 offense in the league. So we get a little bit more coming together. I still think the Colts have way more than the Steelers do. I love what the Colts are doing with Pittman, Tyler Warren, Jonathan Taylor obviously been awesome. They've been really good. We're laying it with the Colts here, -0.5 first quarter. 1.5 first half, 3.5 for the game. Tyler Warren, anytime touchdown. Alec Pierce, over 21.5 yards, longest reception. Aaron Rodgers, 50-plus pass yards, first quarter. Jaylen Warren, 30-plus, let's see. I'm sorry, not Jaylen Warren. That's my bad. Tyler Warren, over 30-plus yards, first half receiving. How about we do that again? Jonnu Smith, under 12.5 yards, longest reception. Jones, under 34.5 pass attempts. Jonnu Smith, under 3.5 receptions. Jonathan Taylor, once again, for a second half touchdown, as they typically run the ball a lot in the second half with the lead. Rodgers, over 1.5 passing TDs. Alec Pierce, 40-plus receiving yards. DK Metcalf, anytime touchdown. Michael Pittman, over 4.5 receptions. Pittman, anytime touchdown. DK Metcalf on that anytime touchdown will also play it just anytime touchdown in the second half, as it was paying +500 for him to hit one in just the second half alone in that one. All right, let's get on to the next one, shall we? We got a full lineup. Falcons, Patriots. Patriots favored by 4.5. They are the Circa Survivor pick of the week. I know the Bengals cost us a lot of tickets in this thing last week, but do love the Patriots in this particular spot at home. Now, typical Patriots so far this season have been a lot of first quarter not winning, and second quarter they seem to take off. It's like the first quarter they got to give up the opening drive touchdown almost every damn time. It's frustrating trying to figure them out, but I do like this. I do like him here laying 4.5. I think they handled the Falcons. Penix is back and London's back. I completely understand, but I really like the Patriots in this spot. Patriots -2.5 first half. We're staying away from the first quarter. 4.5 for the game. We also like the over in this particular game as well. I think the Patriots are going to score. I think the Falcons are going to contribute as well. Patriots and Falcons over 7.5 first quarter, 22.5 first half, 45.5 for the game. Booty over 16.5 yards receiving first half. AJ Terrell for the Falcons under 3.5 tackles and assists. Bijan over 5.5 receiving yards first quarter only. Spillane over 8.5 tackles plus assists. Trayvon Henderson under 2.5 receptions. Trayvon Henderson under 13.5 rush attempts. Drake London over 9.5 yards receiving first quarter. Hunter Henry under 3.5 receptions. Booty over 34.5 receiving yards. May for 260 passing and rushing yards combined. And Henderson under 9.5 yards longest reception. Now, Henderson did get some yards last week. Those were in the run game, not necessarily in the pass game. Stevenson, I expect to get some carries in this one as well. They should be able to run and throw it on Atlanta. Drake May to scramble is always great. And he's been throwing for a bunch of yards. They have to stay away from the turnovers. If they do, should cruise that victory in that one. Next game up. I'm sorry, we just went through Falcons. Well, I was about ready to say Falcons again. Let's go. Broncos, Texans, 1 o'clock Eastern time frame. Broncos getting 1.5 on the road. This is probably the best defensive battle of the day. The Broncos defense, really good. The Texans defense, really good. The Texans at home, probably even better defensively. But we think the Broncos are going to figure out a way to sneak this one out. This is not a monster play on the Broncos. But to be really honest, if that game in Indy that they lost, they shouldn't have lost except for a stupid penalty, a leverage penalty. But Broncos have been good. I'll give them credit. They have figured out how to make Bo Nix move that offense without throwing the ball tremendously down the field. Broncos money line first quarter, first half, and game. Stroud under 1.5 passing touchdowns. Stroud over 20.5 pass completions. Bo Nix over 11.5 yards longest rush. Evan Ingram over 27.5 receiving yards. Bo Nix under 32.5 pass attempts. And let's get on to that next game, shall we? 1 o'clock Eastern time frame window. Panthers, Packers. Packers are back at home where they've been dominant defensively. 12.5 point favorite. Big time favorite here. 43.5 total. Bryce Young's supposed to be back. They're going to try to run the ball, and it's really hard to run the ball against the Pack. I think the line's a little high, but the total's also coming down. We got this a few days ago at 44.5. We like it there. I'd still play 43.5, but it's getting tighter and tighter. Panthers, Packers under 7.5 first quarter, under 22.5 first half. 44.5 for the game. Chuba Hubbard, 29 plus rushing and receiving yards. I understand Dowdle's going to be the primary back now, supposedly, but Hubbard's going to get carries and catches. Hubbard over 19.5 rushing yards. Dowdle under 71.5 rushing and receiving yards. Golden over 2.5 receptions. Josh Jacobs anytime touchdown. Bryce Young under 19.5 pass completions. Rosaboom under 8.5 tackles and assists. McMillan 8 plus receiving yards first quarter. McMillan 25 plus receiving yards first half. Hubbard 6 plus rush attempts. 6 for 20 and like 1 catch for 10 gets us everything, right? So the numbers are so low on Hubbard, we had to put, like if they would have been 30, it would have stay away for us. But at 20, we got to get involved in that one, right? All right, next game up as we continue to move through. It's never enough. All right, as we go through our 100-plus plays, it's absolutely crazy for NFL Sundays. There's so many player props. There's 10 million of them, right? Can't we just wish we could play them all? All right, 49ers, Giants. 49ers laying 2.5 at the Giants. Total in this game, 48.5? And I'll be really honest with you, the Scadaboo injury hurts a bunch. Not only does he provide great rushing, catches the ball well out of the backfield, he's instant juice for them as well. That really hurts. You could tell Jackson Dart was cussing at with a knee down when they saw the Scadaboo injury. It hurts. Tyrone Tracy does not bring the same juice, or Singletary, or anybody else they're going to bring in. No question. And Neighbors is already out for the year. So how much Wan'Dale Robinson can you stand? I think that's going to be what they're going to have to do a lot of, to be really honest, in this one here. We do like the 49ers in this one. We played them on the money line. Look, just take the 2.5 out of play. 49ers money line first quarter, first half, and game. Singletary under 8.5 yards longest rush. Tracy under 11.5 yards longest rush. McCaffrey under 15.5 yards longest rush. Tracy, by the way, I'm sorry, was under 11.5 yards longest reception. My apologies on that one. Juwan Jennings under 4.5 catches. Tracy under 13.5 rush attempts. Jackson Dart, anytime touchdown. He should be running for his life. Jackson Dart under 20.5 pass completions. And Theo Johnson under 3.5 catches in this one as well. Next game up. Bengals, Bears. Bengals at home getting 2.5. Flacco's out. Maybe game time. I don't have the latest injury report in front of me. I do apologize. Bears are laying 2.5 on the road. Did we just see the Bears play last week? And maybe, I mean, I understand the Bengals offense defense sucks, but man, oh man, oh man. Total in this game's up to 51.5. This thing was 50.5. And it's going to probably go up before game time as well. So if you went on in this one, get in early. Bengals, Bears over 9.5 first quarter, 25.5 first half, 50.5 for the game. Noah Fant's been a machine ATM for us. 21 plus receiving yards. DJ Moore, 5 plus receiving yards first quarter. Chase Brown, anytime touchdown. T. Higgins is at home again, and he scored in 8 consecutive home games, so anytime touchdown there. Noah Fant, 3+ receptions. Next game up as we continue through the day. That was the last of the 1 o'clock Eastern time frame. Now we get to 4 o'clock. Saints at the Rams. Saints getting two full touchdowns, 14 in this one. I don't think it's enough. The problem with the Rams has been they've played down to some competition and let some teams kind of hang around when they didn't need to. I hope this is not the case with Tyler Shaw on the other side, or Shook, or Shaw, or whatever the hell his name is, as Spencer Rattler gets benched. We expect Stafford. Puka Nacua is back. Kyron Williams, please hold on to the ball. Is all I really got to say there. I think that's the only thing that can keep the Saints in it. Rams -2.5 first quarter, 7 first half, 13.5 for the game. Devontae Adams over 23.5 yards, longest reception. Puka Nacua over 93.5 receiving yards. Puka Nacua 8+ receptions. Juwan Johnson, once again, over 13.5 yards, longest reception. We'll keep cashing that check. Byron Young, over a half a sack. Chris Olave, over 54.5 receiving yards in that one. Next game up. We got another 4 o'clock window at 4:05 as well. Jacksonville headed to the Raiders. Brock Bowers is back. Maybe that makes a difference. God, we hope so. I expect Ashton Jeanty probably to get off the ground here a little bit. Raiders getting 3 at home, 43.5 total. I'm going to play a slight alternate here. Going to take the Raiders, the 3 and the hook. But that line is getting juicy. It's probably going to be 2.5 here before maybe kickoff, the way it's kind of headed. So let's give you all the plays in this one as we've got a buttload here, even for a Raiders game. Raiders +0.5 first quarter, +2.5 first half, 3.5 for the game. Long for the Jags, under 11.5 yards, longest reception. Jeanty, 30+ rush yards first half. Long, under a half a receiving yard first quarter. Long, under 2.5 receptions. Jeanty, 61+ rushing yards. And, of course, we can't finish the game off without a Geno interception, right? It is Geno. I mean, what would be a game without with Geno Smith in it without throwing a pick? It would just be horrible. I know you hear it every week, yada, yada. You know what? Like, they played, 8 games? It's 6-2. So I like things that pay out more than what we spend, right? Next game up, Chiefs and Bills to finish off the afternoon slate. Bills this line's down to 1.5? Bills getting points at home, 52.5 total. So let's be honest here. The Chiefs offense has been fantastic. The Bills looked really good last week, but they were playing the Panthers with Andy Dalton. So the Bills defense is really the concern. The Chiefs, ever since getting Rashee Rice back, look tremendous offensively, and their defense has definitely improved. The Bills offensively definitely can move the ball. I'm a little concerned their receivers are still – you got Shakir and who else? James Cook's been terrific. Josh Allen's terrific. Keon Coleman's non-existent most of the time. And that defense for the Bills, I think, they're going to try to keep everything in front of them. I understand that, but they're going to give up points, and they're going to give up a boatload of yards. Normally, the Bills always win in the regular season. I think that stops this Sunday. Chiefs money line, first quarter, first half, and game. Shakir for the Bills, over 4.5 receptions. Travis Kelce, over 4.5 receptions. Josh Allen, over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Mahomes, 25+ rushing yards. Josh Allen, over 21.5 passing completions. Mahomes, over 35.5 passing attempts. Juju Smith-Schuster, over 14.5 receiving yards. Nick Bolton, under 7.5 tackles and assists. I'm sorry, over 7.5 tackles and assists for Bolton. My apologies. Worthy, under 21.5 yards, longest reception. He has been more of a gadget player since coming back. The only way he's getting 22 probably if he busts one. Then we'll get to the Sunday night football game. Seahawks, Commanders. Seahawks laying 3 on the road. Jaden Daniels supposed to be back. That Commanders defense did not look good. That Seahawks defense, I think, is pretty good. I don't think they're the best unit in the league, but they're up there, probably top 5, top 7. I mean, you got the Broncos, that are really, really good defensively. Some other teams as well, but I really like that Seahawks defense. I think they've got enough firepower. Jaden Daniels has been turning the ball over at an alarming rate when he has been in the game, and he's been hurt a lot. I don't know if he's fully healthy coming back for this one or not, but we do like us some Seahawks in this one. Let's give you all those plays. Seahawks money line, first quarter, first half, and game. Martin under 6.5 tackles and assists combined. Kenneth Walker under 1.5 receptions. Daniels 8+ rush attempts. Daniels 40+ rushing yards. I honestly think he's going to have to run quite a bit in this particular game because the Seahawks are great on the back end. Deebo Samuel under 61.5 rushing and receiving yards combined. Then let's get to Monday Night Football. Cowboys and the Cardinals. So the Cardinals normally don't play in Dallas very often, but this game is at Dallas. If this game was in Arizona, we would take the Cardinals in this one. I don't think there'd be much hesitation because the Cowboys never play well there. This game, though, in Dallas, at Jerry's World, they're only laying 3. Total in this game is the biggest one on the board for the week at 54.5 because, the Cowboys can't play any defense. Why would they? We think this is a Cowboys win, but this thing is going to be super high scoring is the way we think. Dallas money line, first quarter, first half, and game. Over 9.5 total first quarter, over 27.5 first half, over 53.5 for the game. Brandon Aubrey for the Cowboys, 3 extra points. CeeDee Lamb, over 24.5 yards, longest reception. Jake Ferguson gets back on the board this week as the Cardinals can't defend a tight end. Over 4.5 receptions. Pickens, 60+ receiving yards. Javonte Williams, anytime touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, 35+ receiving yards first half. And CeeDee Lamb, 80+ receiving yards for the game. All right, that's going to be a rundown of Sunday and Monday for NFL football. Obviously, got some teams on bye, but a big, big week. A lot of plays in there. So take your time, hit pause, fast forward, rewind. It's okay. Check it out. There's a lot of plays on there to check out. All of our shows brought to you by the world's #1 sports betting app, Outlier. And 7-day free trial available for that in the comments section. Also, YouTube channel page. Private Discord channel available for all of you out there. Appreciate all the people joining here in the last week as well. You get all of our plays early. You get the unit sizes, which ones are our best bets, all that kind of stuff. All that's there. Baseball is finishing up, and then we've got NBA basketball. College basketball is right around the corner. College football, and NFL football to keep us busy all winter long. Trust me, the basketball alone will keep us busy, and then throw the football in for the cherry on top. So make sure you check that out in Discord. A couple 100+ members that love doing the same thing you do, and that's sports wagering. You can find the link in the comment section of this show or on our YouTube channel page. We do appreciate everybody's support, as always, and we look forward to seeing you on our next episode.